This video is intended for the adult collector and teens with money.
Consumer information. Hey everybody, it's me, Harry's 083, and I got a special review for you guys. This time, for Season 9, Fake Bots and Free Games, I got one big fake bot here to review. So the Wei Jiang Skullsmasher. Basically, he's a copy from Skullsmasher from Titans Return. I did do a review of Titans Return Skullsmasher. It was way back in season 4. And my thoughts about that figure are there. I'm going to probably put a link to that video in here. My personal history with Skullsmasher is he appeared briefly in the Rebirth. He didn't make a big impression, except to being one of the animal bots that gave his head to become a headmaster. In the IDW comic, he was a stand-up comedian, but I don't think that went very far for him because he didn't showcase his talents in more issues. And in the Headmaster's dub, he was pretty cool. I liked him. But his most memorable moment was when he got hypnotized by Mind Wipe. And he got all sleepy and stuff. In robot mode, his joints are pretty tight. One of the complaints that I had on the Titans Return figure was that the hips were really loose. And my internet buddy, like it's 1985, commented that the hips don't lie, but these hips are actually pretty tight on this figure. Usually on these Wei Jiang knockoffs, the chests are metallic. I've tried with upcoming review Wolfwire, and he does have a metallic chest. But it looks like with Skullsmasher, you can see like there's a seam here, and it looks like that this white part of his chest is a different piece, but it's not metallic. I got this on eBay, and the previous owner decided to, I guess, cover the Wei Jiang logo with a Decepticon insignia to make it more legit. He added stickers to the back of the gun and also to the tail shield, as you can see here. Voila. One of the improvements that Wei Jiang as a company did to this guy is that they gave him tighter joints. Like the ball joints on his arms are really super tight. And on his hips and his knees. So there's no floppiness here. One of the other things that Wei Jiang did was that they added the ability to stuff the alt mode's legs into the back of the robot legs, like this. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It's a hinge mechanism. I'm also using the alt mode's feet as a form of balance, so that the figure can stand up straight or lean back a bit. So that's cool. One thing they did not fix was the gun's ability to peg into the tail. Before doing this video, I decided to rewatch my old Skullsmasher video, and one of the problems I had was that the handle for the gun was too tight for this hole, so I had to like shave it down. But just putting it in a little bit, not too tight, it does stay in. But in alt mode, the bottom of the gun, the top of the gun scratches the floor. It's supposed to go in more so that the barrel of the gun matches the tip of the tail. Skullsmasher is not my favorite design of the Decepticon Headmasters. That would be Wolfwire, and then Mind Wipe. So Skull Smasher, Skull Cruncher is the least of my liked designs, and he's made even leaser, if that's a word, by his new head. So here's the Wei Jiang head that they made for him. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It looks like he has a big smile, but you can notice he has a little mouth. This is supposed to be his chin. But I don't like that it's white. The original color was black and he had a gold face. But you can convert him. And here you have a super huge Titan Titan headmaster. The face on the headmaster is not really detailed, but his body is. And he does have articulation. His arms do go out, and he can sit, but his hips are kind of loose, so that kind of sucks. So just to show you how big this little, in parentheses, I mean in quotes, this little guy is, here he is with Power the Primes, Metal Hawk, and then you got the Prime Master in here. So here he is with Power the Primes, Vector Prime, pretty big. And here he is with Legends Beachcomber. So yeah, here's a size comparison of him with Leader Meat Beast Megatron. There's a Voyager class G2 Ramjet and Deluxe class RC from Kingdom. So that's how big he is in comparison. I know RC is a small deluxe, but basically these guys, they get one-upped from one class to another. So I know this guy's supposed to be a Voyager, but basically he went from like deluxe up to leader. I mean, deluxe to Voyager. Or in case maybe he went from deluxe to leader. But I don't know, Megatron might be a small leader. I've added more figures, and wow, yeah, this guy's pretty big. I thought he went from deluxe to Voyager, but it looks like either leaders are getting smaller or deluxes are getting bigger, because I think mainframe is supposed to be a deluxe. Full Tilt came with Triptychon. Full Tilt was a deluxe. And Scorponok, the head unit is supposed to be a deluxe, but this guy's pretty big. I think he's a Voyager. But size comparisons aside, he's a pretty beefy boy. Beefy. One last thing before we go into the alt mode. In addition to the extra tight joints, they added these little flaps so you can hide the arms for transformation. I believe they're not present on the original figure. And finally, for robot mode, he can pull off the pose with a little help from his feet, as you can see. Mid-transformation thing. Just want to point out that the figure has these pegs that plug into these hoses, so they keep the two legs together very tightly. And there's tabs here where the legs can tab into the side of the alt mode, the crocodile. So here we have the alt mode for Skull Smasher. It's a pretty big croc. A croc of poop. I had to put the tail gun on the top instead of the bottom so that the feet would be able to lie flat. It's pretty cool. Pretty big crocodile. Alt mode is decent. One of the things that I did like about the Titans Return version is that you could open his mouth. But in that version, the teeth inside were made out of soft plastic. Since this is a bootleg company and they don't care if you're a kid and you stab your eyes out or prick your fingers, these are made out of hard plastic. So his teeth have bite. The previous owner did put a Decepticon insignia on his on the top of his head, and here is his Titan Master with him. The cockpit opens, and unlike the Titans Return version, it's not made out of soft plastic, out of bendy plastic. It's actually hard plastic. There's a little cockpit inside. If you can see the console. Beep, boop, boop, boop. There is a pseudo seat waiting for him. But unlike the Titans Returns figures, there's no little notch where you tab the leg tab into, which is weird and inconvenient. The crocodile head is on a ball joint, so he could be inquisitive, like, what are you saying? And he can look a little bit up, a little bit down. He could lie in wait for someone to step on his tongue. I did notice, I think this is also available on the Hasbro Titans Return Skullsmasher, but you can tab his neck into his shoulders to keep it tabbed in. The only downside to this alt mode is sometimes you might see it or not, but it does look like it's somebody. The front paws look like it's just somebody lying down. But for the most part, it works. I like the alt mode. It's not my favorite, but it's decent. Rawr. I usually don't end my final verdicts in the alt mode, but here we go. Final verdict. I like the Headmasters slash Titan Masters because of their pilots. Every time someone asks me what's my favorite line, it's always Titans Return, because you have your little pilots. Wait, I guess in this case, it's a animal vehicle, but like the Autobots usually have vehicles, so I do like the Headmasters more than I like Target Masters, because Target Masters are guns and they usually end up on hoods, not inside the vehicle. But I do like Headmasters. I know they were kind of phased out by Aaron Archer because he wanted every toy to have something, every accessory for a toy to be able to plug onto the toy so that the accessory wouldn't be lost. And in the past, Headmasters were easily lost. These, I like the Robo Beast, like Skull Cruncher, Skull Smasher, more than I like Meat Beast, like Kingdom Megatron. Skull Cruncher is my least favorite of the three Decepticon Headmasters. But I like the novelty of having a Transformer figure that's bigger than average. It's a good display piece. Like if I was going to display toys that I'd let kids play with, like my nieces and nephews, and that I like, it'd probably be oversized Hasbro bootlegs, because Hasbro has good engineering. The bootlegs usually end up being better in the case of Skull Cruncher here, except for the white head I did not like. And I'm sure kids like the size. I think Spectre Creative just did a video about how big toys attract kids more. Wei Jiang improved on Hasbro's design. And if you're looking to get a Skull Cruncher and you don't have one, I would try and Google this. I'm sure I got this on eBay. So I'm sure you'd be able to find someone in the US selling off their old Wei Jiang Skullsmasher on eBay. I would rather get this oversized copy than buying the Hasbro re-release or looking for Titans Return on eBay. But if you like big robots and you like Metal Beast, Row Beast like I do, pick them up. I was intending to get the rest of the headmasters, but the plan's been put on hold. But hopefully, one of these days, I'll be able to get all the Wei Jiang oversized headmasters. I'm Aries 083, and I'll see you later. Well, bye.